So, do men have special signals based on patriarchy? No. Patriarchy is a feminist myth put together to try and explain how oppressed they were. Crazy stuff. But do men have special signals based on hierarchy? Yeah, now we're getting a little bit closer. Hierarchy is a little bit closer because that's what men live in all the time and have basically always lived in, this thing called hierarchy. The South American indigenous groups of hunter-gatherer cultures, they studied them, and they found that one of those groups, 60% of their males were killed protecting their group. Hey, 60%. And other groups, it was 30, 40%, sometimes 10, 15%. When they averaged them all together, they found that 30% of men were killed trying to protect their group. That's a lot. And that says something. It says that men need to know who is the enemy and who is your friend. We need to be able to determine those things. And it's important for our survival to be able to determine those things, or at least it was for long, long ago and up until now. So here I am on the Washington Metro, riding along, standing up, bouncing back and forth, waiting for my stop to come, and all of a sudden I'm, not looking at anything in particular, and my eyes catch this man who's sitting down and in front of me. And then he looks up, and we catch gaze, right? As soon as that happens, what happens inside me? Tick, 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 tick. There's this counter that says how long I can hold that gaze with that man before it becomes dangerous. And the guys, you'll probably know this. I mean, it's something that happens automatically. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to plan it. It happens. But when this gaze catches another man's gaze, boom, you hear this clock, tick, 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 tick. And if you go too far, there's this red alert. Red alert, danger, Will Robinson, break that gaze, right? Because what does that mean? A man gazing at another man's eyes, what does that mean? It means confrontation. It means competition. Very different from women who have eye contact with people. And that doesn't mean competition. And when a man has eye contact with a woman he finds attractive, that ain't competition either. I mean, he's going to gaze at her as long as he wants. But when he gazes into another man's eyes, think hierarchy, it is implied that he's challenging him. There's this implication that runs underneath that this is a challenge of some sort. And so men have an automatic counter that says, don't do this for too long. Otherwise, there could be trouble. So here I am, my gaze, and I'm realizing, I'm in the red. I've got to stop. So what do? All of a sudden, without thinking, I just go like that. A very, very subtle nod like this. And then I look away. And that usually is enough to tell men that you're not a danger to them, that you don't want to compete or confront. You're not a danger to them, right? How could a subtle head nod mean that? And actually, if you go back far enough, what you find is that this little nod, just like that, very subtle, people might even miss it. Women might miss it. Men don't miss it. They know. They watch for this. But that little nod is actually comes from a bow. When people bow down and they put themselves lower than the other. I am beneath you. I am beneath you. I'm your servant, So I am no threat to you is what that means when you bow down and you put your head below. And this has been going on for a long, long time. In fact, all over the world, bowing is critical. It's interesting I've heard that in the Asian countries, bowing is typical, but that sometimes when Westerners are around, they'll try and shake hands, and there's this mix-up that happens because they're trying to shake and bow at the same time. So who knows? There's I think it's Buddhist. They call it a Katana. And the Katana is when you take 3 steps, then you prostrate yourself on the ground, You slide down with your head down. Then you bring yourself back up. You take 3 more steps. You bow, prostrate on the ground, and back up. And these people do this for miles, But it's a way to, actually, they're doing this in honor of the Buddha. They're saying to Buddha, I am beneath you. I am your servant. So this whole thing of bowing and putting ourselves below is hierarchical. It's hierarchical. We are above or below you. And to neutralize a potential challenge, you can just like that. And that usually does the trick. Now, there's other things that happen too. One of them is a hand signal. Yes, we do have hand signals. And it's very simple. And it's kind of like, something is a potential confrontation, and you can just go just like that. You just show the palm of your hand very briefly, very quickly. And men do this automatically. They do it without thinking. But what they're doing is they're saying, I'm no threat to you. This hand gesture just, or it's okay. And, people might do it like this, but it's very subtle, just like that. And that means I am no threat to you. I'm no threat to you. Now, where did that one come from? What do you think? A lot of people think that it's connected to the old handshake. When we shake someone's hand, what are we doing? Shake. When you're shaking, you always shake with the right hand. Why? Because the element behind a shake is to prove you do not have a weapon. It's proof you don't have a weapon. And by doing that, then you're saying, I am no threat to you. And this is just a condensed version of a handshake, saying, I'm okay, I'm not a threat to you, you're safe with me. Interesting, eh? And guys do this automatically, they do it all the time. But a lot of times guys don't even think about what they're doing with it. The other thing is a salute, Yes, sir, Colonel, sir. What's that? That's a sign of respect and a sign of saying, I am below you, sir. And then the salute back is to say, thank you for saluting me, right? So the salute is also an interesting history. Where did the salute come from? Why would this have to do with proving that we are no threat to someone? And some people think its origins are from the days of knights. Because in the days of knights, when the knight wanted to prove that he was a compatriot, that he was a part of your side, he would lift his armor up, the little gate. He would lift it up so they could see his face and then put it back down. Interesting, eh? So this whole movement of like this is almost like lifting up that gate and putting it down, proving that you are no threat. So, yeah, we got some secret handshakes. We got some secret things going on. And it's because we've evolved as males. We've evolved as males. It's what we do. We try and keep ourselves safe. And we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of years of evolution that teaches us how to prove that we are not a threat to someone in order so that we can survive. And that's a good thing. This is a good thing because we want men to survive. Why do we want men to survive? Because men are good, as are you. And come see me on Patreon. Subscribe, like, comment, share, hit the daggone notification button, and we'll see you for the next one.